Hey guys, well, I'm back here live. Of course, I'm a little later than I thought. I thought I would be on here by 11 to 11 to 11:30, but it ended up being, of course, midnight, so I'm always end up late. But I'm on here live now, and I'll be on here for probably about like an hour and a half or so, maybe a little longer, but around that range or so. I try and do like an hour and a half to 2 hours or so. Like I said, I just got back from the a 10-mile walk that me and my mom do. So back now. But any of you questions you guys have, feel free to ask any questions you have on here or anything like that. Let's see here. Do you find the virus to be as bad as before at this stage? That's the first question. Things now that are opening up, like store wise, because I'm noticing like more people are out too, like it's so much busier. So we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully everything stays and doesn't like have terrible, more cases and stuff. I know that some areas have had that, but for the most part, at least where I am, everyone still has to wear the masks and is required to wear masks to go in the stores. And I think that's the most important thing, especially like if you're in like an area with big groups. That's where you really need to have a mask. If you're like walking around outside where there's nobody around, it's fine. But if you're somewhere where there's like tons of people, that's where it's to be safe. I just think it's, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere with like huge groups of people or anything, that kind of stuff. But like I said, restaurants inside are now opening up. Most stores are opening up. The movie theaters are at some point, I think, soon are going to start to open. At least out here, like not yet, but it's going to be a slow process. I think the gyms are opening soon. So all that kind of stuff is going on right now. What are your thoughts on the protests? Well, I understand exactly why people are protesting because of these cops, and these cops continuously do that kind of stuff and bad things, and so the cops, I understand that they need to be accountable for all that kind of stuff. So I totally, understand all of that. I'd be afraid of going to any of that kind of stuff because I wouldn't want to get like hurt or anything like that. So I wouldn't personally do that kind of stuff myself. I'll just talk about it on here if anyone asks. But no, like I totally understand why it's all happening and support, what everyone's saying about the cops and all that kind of stuff. So I totally am, understand all of it. Let's see, what are some of your most prized possessions? Probably like a lot of movie kind of stuff, like some old toys that I have and stuff that I've held on to, like some of the original Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey poster that I've had since it came out, and a lot of stuff like that, like a lot of stuff that I've had for years and years and have held on to. And the fact that I have like a lot of old like family photos and stuff of certain things that are gone, and the fact to me is it's weird, but just from having documenting videos since filming vlogs and that kind of stuff since 2006, I think 2006, 2007, I've gotten to document a lot of stuff. So that's, to me, it's weird. It's not really a possession, but I'm just like happy that I film things, that a lot of things are gone now. Like I know in some of the vlogs have videos of Borders books, and I don't know, like that kind of stuff I like, just that I was able to document stuff that nowadays is like totally gone. You know what I mean? Like, and there's not really too much videos of it. What's up, everybody? Went to the Dollar Tree. It was all picked over. Yeah, I think someone said that the Dollar Tree this Friday was when they were supposed to put the stuff out, like this coming Friday this week, since it's Monday now. I don't know if that's true, and maybe some of the stores put them out early or not. Like on Tuesday, the one area I go to has a Dollar Tree, so I might look in that one quickly because I haven't been to that particular one in a while. And I've seen some people's pictures of stuff that they saw, and I know I didn't see any of those ones. But with a Dollar Tree, it's always so hard to know. Because like sometimes when you call and ask, because I do that every so often, they don't want to help you too much. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing, and they always are weirded out. You're asking about, they're like, what are DVDs? And like always kind of weird about it. Thoughts on the Baz Luhrmann directing the Elvis Presley biopic? Is that the one with Austin Butler in it, I think? Or I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. Is that the Baz Luhrmann, who took over Bohemian Rhapsody, or no? Hey Sean, how are you? I'm doing good. Like I said, I just got back from the walk and everything. Now, thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No, I grew up watching those, so I watched the cartoon as a little kid. I actually had most of the toys. Like I was always going out looking for those, and there were some of them that were real hard to find. But I was constantly, as a little kid, going to KB Toys and always getting them, like looking for ones. So I had like a giant I didn't keep them sealed, of course, but I had like a giant tub, this huge tub filled with all these Ninja Turtles. So like I was really into them. But as a kid though, I was always scared to death of the first movie. For some reason I didn't like watching that one at all. Like I don't know what it was, but that scene with the sewer always creeped me out so much in the beginning. I used to turn it off as a little kid. I was like, I can't watch this. So I only ever watched part two. The third one I didn't like very much, but I watched part two all the time. So I kind of like ignored the first movie as a little kid, and I watched it years later. But for some reason, that opening stuff with the turtles coming out of the sewer, the way it was lit real dark and stuff, creeped me out as a kid. So it was like I just never watched it. Favorite Friday the 13th? Probably part four, the final chapter with Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman. I always really liked that one. Do you remember the exact date you started your weight loss journey? Yeah, I started the weight loss journey. I don't know if exactly I know the date I decided that I was going to do it. That was in June. That was, if you look up the video from June 2014, when me and Danny and my brother went to the San Diego Fair. That day, the very next day, I felt really sick and really strange. Like something was the matter with me. Like I just did not feel right the next day. And I remember I was going to the movies with my brother, and we went to see 22 Jump Street. And because of that, I never watched that movie. It's like reminds me of the whole thing. But I was in there when I was leaving the theater. I was so dizzy. I was never so dizzy in my life. Everything was spinning. I felt really hot, and I thought maybe I was all clogged up and everything, or something was like with my allergies or something. So I went home and then took a shower, and then after I got out of the shower, I was even hotter feeling, and then I took my temperature, which was probably even worse because I was in the shower, but it was like 106. It was like really bad. And then I went to the hospital, and then in the hospital, when I found out I had cellulitis, is why I was so sick. I had this infection in my leg. I was sitting in there, and I was like, you know what? I was having these visions of myself having a heart attack or a stroke, and like dying in the hospital because of my weight and all this. And I was also having all these tests done, so I was discovering that I had high blood pressure. I was like discovering all these things in the hospital that I didn't want to know, and that was kind of what started it. Was in the hospital, I had this terrible fear of it, and then from there on, I was like, okay, I'm going to lose the weight. And then that's where I started. So it all came from going to the hospital, and then kind of sort of like those Beyond Scared Straight, almost like that. It was like going to the hospital scared me straight. And I went and then started losing the weight from there, and that and never looked back from that. So in a way, even though the cellulitis was horrible to have that happen and be in the hospital and scared to death, because I was on the strongest medicine because the infection was really bad. But if that didn't, I'm glad it happened, because if it didn't happen, I might not be alive now. I might have like continued to have the weight go up. I really don't know. Let's see. Do you eat fast food only on Tuesdays? No, because like that's not all for me. That's all for like other people in the house. The only thing that I eat of that food is the rice, the Pan Express rice. Have you seen the TV show Adventures of Super Ted and Pryor's Place starring Richard Pryor? No, I never saw those ones. Let's see here. What is the worst fast food to eat for people looking to not gain weight? Well, the thing is, like anything, you can technically eat anything and like lose weight. It all depends on how much of it you eat. Do you know what I mean? So like, let's say you're like, well, I really want to eat the Big Mac at McDonald's. Well, you could eat the Big Mac at McDonald's, but if you were limiting yourself to, say, okay, I'm going to only eat, like for me, I was eating 1,500 calories a day, or you're like, well, I'm going to eat 2,000 calories a day. You could technically eat anything, but certain foods would take away all the calories very quickly. So like if you had a Big Mac, I think that's like 600 calories, 700, I'm not 100% sure, but that would take away a huge amount of calories that you would lose. So they'd be like, well, I used up all these calories at lunch on this, and now throughout the day for dinner, and if I have a snack or something, I only have like 1,200, or oh no, if you were only eating 1,500, you have like, oh, I only have like 1,000 calories left, or whatever the hell, whatever it would be. Depend, you know what I mean? So it all kind of depends on what you eat, and then like I said, so technically you could eat anything, but you just kind of have to watch what you're eating. You know what I mean? And pay attention to the calories. At least that's how I was doing it. Let's see here. Where was I now? And any of you guys who have come on now, thanks so much for coming on this morning, because it's technically after midnight now. And if any of you guys have any super chat questions, feel free to ask anything you guys would like. And you guys can also feel free in there too to promote your channel or promote anything you guys would like. Link to your Instagram, or ask any weird requests. Like people have weird things about me spinning in the chairs and all kinds of weird stuff. So if any of that kind of stuff as well, feel free for that stuff as well. And like I said to any of you guys who give super chats, thanks so much. They're a big help to the channel and the video, so I really appreciate them. So where is I now? Trying to make sure I don't miss anything. I always get like lost in the thing because it moves after a while and then I lose it. Let's see, thoughts on, I talked about Ninja Turtles. Have you seen the movie The Young Cannibals? No, I've not seen The Young Cannibals. Thoughts on Inspector Gadget? That's one of those things I used to watch as a kid all the time. I always remember too, on the way to getting ready to go to school. I guess it was like middle school. I used to have to get up at like 6 something in the morning. It was real early. The bus came. It was so early. But I remember the one thing on TV all the time was Inspector Gadget. So that was the one. I was always like watching that in the morning, getting ready to go. I think one of the funniest moments of your videos is MJ stepping on the gum and trying to get it off. Oh yeah, because we went to like Toys R Us and they had that huge gumball that was called the Mega Fruit gum. I don't know if they make it anymore. It seemed like it was kind of dangerous because it was like this big, and it wasn't a gum. It wasn't like a jawbreaker. It looked like a jawbreaker, but it was the biggest gumball imaginable. And he ate it and then spit it on the ground, and then stepped on it by mistake. So then he was trying to get off the shoe. It was a whole total disaster. Hey Sean, what have you been up to? How you doing? Hey Daniel, I've been doing good. Yeah, I just did the walk. I've done like a bunch of like cleaning in the house and stuff, like clean the bathroom. There's all this like weird soap that got on like the side of the shower, so I was like scrubbing it all this kind of stuff. It was like a big to do, but I cleaned it all up. Worst cinema staff you have seen? Cinema staff? Like bad people, like the movie theaters, like doing a bad job or something. I don't know. Do you like Fairy Tale, A True Story, or Surrounder Dog? I don't think I've seen either of those ones. Do you do an impression of Gabe? Well, he always says, cheese and chicken titties. That was always his line. What series have you been watching at the moment? Well, I just finished watching Betty. That just ended on HBO. Love this guy, man. What are your thoughts on Twilight Time closing down? Well, Twilight Time, from what I heard, Screen Archives, the company that would, sell their movies, apparently Screen Archives is continuing on with the company. I don't know exactly the plan of it, but they're going to apparently keep it going. Do you know, have you ever seen the movie Creep 1 and 2? Yeah, both those Creep films are great. Will you ever have your own podcast? Well, this is kind of a podcast in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like doing it like this. Why don't you film your hikes? Well, I don't like, I filmed the one video, but it's kind of like a lot of the neighborhoods, and I don't really like to show too much of the neighborhoods and everything. Have you been going to Video Center and Camelot Music and Movie Scene? I used to go to those places back in the day. I don't think I ever went to Video Center. I went to Camelot Music, though. Sean, have you seen Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage? It's on Blu-ray. I want to purchase it. Yeah, no, I've seen that movie. That's a great movie. I haven't seen it for a long time, though. Brendan was complaining about you, who's so annoying. Yeah, I'm not going to talk anymore about Brendan anymore. It's not worth it, because like if I say anything too, he'll like take a clip of it out of context and everything. So I think that the best thing is for us just to do our own stuff. I just saw The Fly from the 80s with Gina Davis, was the hottest woman of the 80s. That's a great movie too. Like I haven't, that's like honestly probably one of the top remakes. And everything about that movie is great. Like the Jeff Goldblum in there is like so good, and his delivery of it, and just this whole persona of that character is amazing. I also love the music in that movie. Sean, is MJ behind you? No, MJ's not in here. Let's see. Are you going to take a trip to Vegas now that it's open? I don't think I have time to right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also like, I don't think everything is open yet, but I would love to get back there again. But I definitely will again though. I miss not going. You've been to the mall lately? I went to the mall in the one video. I haven't been to it was sort of halfway opened. I do have a video that'll be up tomorrow though, of me going back to a thrift store. It's just as like a little video of me going to the one of the thrift stores that I go to. And it's like a little video of me just looking at stuff and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was the first thrift store I've been in like three months. So it was nice to be back in there again though. And I see a $5 super chat on here from Todd Benedict. And thanks so much, Todd, for your $5 super chat. And like I said, guys, really appreciate the super chat donations. They're a big help to the channel and the video, so thanks again. And he says, checked out the Corey Feldman film Voodoo. Thanks for turning me onto it. Yeah, that's a movie that you never hear about with Corey Feldman. And that was actually one of the earliest DVDs I remember seeing, because it was in one of those cases where it was like a paper case, but it was like the same size as a DVD case, but it was like paper. And then when you like took the way it opened, like it had a CD jewel case underneath. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but early DVDs, some of them were like that. Even some of the very earliest DVDs were not even in DVD cases; they were just in CD cases. So some of the early Sony releases, like Jumanji, that one was just the first ever DVD of Jumanji was in a CD case, a jewel case. Like, I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but it was a very interesting when you look at like how they were like that. And then of course Warner Brothers had those paper cases, the snappers, and they didn't last, and they were okay, but they really did not last at all. But I have to admit, I couldn't watch Neon Maniacs all the way. Well, Neon Maniacs is not the greatest movie, but I love the music in it. Do you think hard to film extreme VHS videotape Mr. Frost and Grimm Fairy Tales? I think I've seen Grimm Fairy Tales. Yes, you're back. Live live. Thumbs up, bro. You're awesome. 80s, bro. Well, thanks so much for coming on, 1980s, dude. Thoughts on Pirates of the Caribbean series? I think they're okay. I'm not like the biggest fan in the world of the movies, but I've watched all of them though. What are your thoughts on the TV show Cousin Skeeter and My Brother and Me? Well, I watched a little bit of my Cousin Skeeter, but My Brother and Me, I used to love that as a kid. Even though they only made like it was one of those weird shows where I think there was maybe a season of that show. They maybe made 12 episodes, and Nickelodeon would play it all the time. They would, like, every single like day at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they would play that again and again and again. And I'm thinking, if it's so popular, if at least if they're continuing to air it, it's like, why don't they make more episodes of it? Like, I'd love to have seen more of that show, because I used to like it back in the day. Do you watch Apocalypse Now? But the thing with My Brother and Me, though, is it got so much of me knowing it, I could like tell you, I could quote the lines. You know what I mean? Like, especially that episode when they went to the fair, and like the fair episode. Did you watch Apocalypse Now? Yeah, I finally did, like a couple years ago. I'm glad I finally watched it. Nice to find out somebody else likes Bad Ronald. Yeah, Bad Ronald's a great movie. In fact, I've watched Night of the Comet many times. Coolduder. Yeah, Night of the Comet's a great movie. What is your favorite Harold and Kumar movie? Probably the first movie is out of all of them. Do you think Tent will get pushed back? Well, I've heard people saying something about that, getting pushed back. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I've heard some things talking about that. Favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? Definitely The Shining, and then probably Clockwork Orange, and then Eyes Wide Shut. Let's get those super chats rolling. Well, thanks for posting that, Xenomorph. Like I said, if any of you guys have any super chat donations, feel free to ask anything you guys would like, or any requests or anything, and or post links to your YouTube channels or anything like that. And like I said, thanks so much for those of you guys who have helped with super chats. Big help to the channel. Did you see Cousin Ted's, Dawson's, and Toby Terror Dog Puppet Show? I've never seen those. Mine is The Shining. I've watched it many times. Yeah, The Shining, like I said, that's definitely my top favorite. At least the one that I've watched the most out of all of them. Let's see, where was I now? Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard. Yeah, Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard's a great movie. Where was I now? Here's where I was. Have you watched the new movie Becky starring Kevin James? I know that movie's playing at some drive-ins, but I know it's on demand and everything. But no, I definitely want to watch that one. I don't know if I'm going to rent it or wait for it to come out to Blu-ray or something like that, because I'm sure it will. Because that Quiver Entertainment usually releases stuff on Blu-ray usually a little while after. But that's definitely one I want to see. Why are your legs red? I don't know. Legs red? How is Chris Duncan? I don't know. I haven't seen or talked to Chris Duncan in years. Thoughts on Boggins and Kill Cruise? Boggins I remember really liking. How did you gain all the weight in the first place? I don't know. I was just like always heavy. I was somebody that was always heavy ever since I was probably like 7 years old. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Thoughts on Jumanji? Jumanji, I always was a fan of Jumanji. And I like the new Jumanji films as well. Do you like watching on Hulu? No, I look at Hulu. I haven't watched anything recently on there, but no, I do use that. I picked up Onward and Birds of Prey 4K for $28 on eBay. Decent deal. Oh yeah, that's a great price for those. Before the weight loss, what did a typical day of eating look like? It was like a lot of like talk. It was a lot of like eating, like like a lot of times. Like so I would have like lunch, but then I would have like a breakfast thing in the morning, like a big snack, like a big bowl of chips or a bowl of Oreos, and then I would eat like like that Taco Bell fourth meal. So I would go and like eat a full dinner, and then I would go and eat something else. Do you know what I mean? Too, like late in the night on top of the dinner. So all that kind of stuff really did not do good things for me by doing that. KFC for breakfast, lunch, and dinner probably. Not really KFC. Like I said, a lot of Taco Bell. Have you seen the new Grudge movie yet? Yeah, I saw it. It did not like it too much. It was okay. Did you order the new Mr. No Legs Blu-ray? I ordered it in October and it finally sent it last week. Yeah, I didn't order that one, but I heard about that. I think it's still a couple available, I believe. And by the way, I'm super proud of you losing the weight, and I'm keeping the weight off Coolduder and keeping the weight. Thanks so much, though. Thoughts on the Vacation series? Yeah, I love those movies. Every single one of them, and probably my favorite is the original Vacation, but I also like Vegas Vacation. That's probably my second favorite. Even though I know that Christmas Vacation is better, I think that I've watched Vegas Vacation more though. Have you seen Hot Pursuit with John Cusack? No, I haven't seen that one. Bugsy Malone is a unique movie. I've heard of that. I've not watched that. Let's see here. And Quarter, an honest question, what movie from the 90s? Your favorite movie from the 90s to 2000s? I don't know. I have some videos on that. It's always hard to say for sure. Favorite Eminem song? Probably, the real Slim Shady one. And I see Sassy Fit Girl in here. And thanks, Sassy Fit Girl, for becoming a member of the channel as well. Thoughts on Repo Man? Repo Man? I haven't watched that in forever, but I remember liking that one. Do you think Better Watch Out should get a sequel, or they just leave it as it was? It's probably one of those ones where I would probably not do another one, because sometimes if you do a sequel to certain things, it can kind of ruin the first movie. Let's see here. Do you remember Get Slammer and Pogs? Yeah, I used to remember. I had a whole bunch of those, and I used to go to a place called MJ Designs, and they had like bins and bins of Pogs and Slammers back in the day. Where's Danny Cinestalker? Well, I haven't seen him in a long time. It's been a long time. But we talk on the text and message and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully soon we'll be able to do something. Are there any horror remakes you prefer over the originals? I don't think there's anything that I like more. There's some that I feel like are just as good, like the Hills Have Eyes remake, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're good. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre one's not as good, but it's still very watchable. But I don't think there's anywhere I would say the remake was better. You know what I mean? Like where you would be like, oh, I would never watch the original after this remake. Brendan sold 8 boxes of his DVDs and Blu-rays. No, I saw that he was selling a bunch of them. Are there any horror remakes? I talked about that. Are you... is the movie Fantasy Island really as bad as people say? Well, it's kind of like one of those so bad it's good kind of movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a great film, but it's watchable. You know what I mean? It's not like you're not going to watch it and be like really bored with it or anything like that. Thoughts on Beavis and Butthead? Oh, I've always been a fan of Beavis and Butthead ever since, a little kid watching that back in the day. What's your favorite Emilio Estevez movie? Mine's Stakeout and Breakfast Club. Yeah, probably like, what was the Mighty Ducks is probably one of my favorite ones. And then I would say Breakfast Club as well. Thoughts on Little Nicky? That's like the Adam Sandler movie that you see played on TV the least. Mr. Deeds, I think, is the most played on TV, but Little Nicky, that one, you do not see that very much. Dude, your 80s bro, I just retweet you on Twitter. Are you still friends with MJ? We haven't even talked in a long time, but when we talked a while ago, everything was fine. Hey Don, what console do you own? Like video game system? Like I have like a Nintendo Switch and I have a PS4. Do you read comics? No, I've never really I've never really read too many comics. I did back in the day. I had some, but I don't like go out of my way to, get new comics, or I don't know like a whole lot about them. I was watching the '80s TV show of the Twilight Zone from the mid '80s. Yeah, that wasn't a bad one. Do you know if Under Wraps got a new release? I ran into two Echo Bridge copies. Well, if you saw them, definitely buy them. If you saw them for cheap, hey Jay, definitely buy those. But no, there's been no new releases of that one. What movie do you think deserves a sequel? Well, the one that I was hoping is getting one. The new Bill and Ted. But other than that, though, it's always hard to say. What I wanted to see Mac and Me's sequel though, because at the end it says we'll be back. They've never been back. What's the newest comedy movie you watched? I think The Lovebirds was one of the last comedy ones. Got my hat emoji. Yes, Sassy Fit Girl. Thanks for getting the becoming a member to get the emoji too. Fly is classic. Yeah, that's definitely. was a Blood in Blood Out DVD. I don't know if that's out already. Do you know Linda Cardellini? I think so. Do you see Remote from Full Moon? Yeah, Remote. That was from you know, there. You know, what was the name of that one? The Moon. Why am I blanking on that? Full Moon's company, Moonbeam. Full Moon had the company Moonbeam, which released kids films, and yeah, Remote was part of that. Sean, do you have HMV in America? No, we don't have those. I wish. Do you think we'll ever get to see 1994 Spider-Man cartoon come to DVD or Blu-ray? Maybe. That's what I know that's never come out, so hopefully that one gets a release. And I see a $10 super chat from Sober Sunsets. He didn't leave a question, but thanks so much, Sober Sunsets, for your donation to the channel. And like I said, anybody who comes on, thanks so much for the super chat donations to the channel. They're a big help to the video, so thanks so much, so much, and I really appreciate them so much. So thanks again. Let's see here. Do you see Werewolf 1996 film early DVD snapper case? I think I had that one. Let's see here. Have you seen The Ghost in the Darkness with Val Kilmer? Yeah, that's a great movie. Has that ever come to Blu-ray? I don't think it has, and that's one you don't hear about much at all. That, like, everyone kind of forgot about that movie. Do you remember watching on DVD bootleg Bloodbath at the House of Death? I don't know if I've watched that one. I like the late 70s Spider-Man show. I don't think I watched that one either, that 70s show. Thoughts on Stranger Things? I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes. I do need to finally sit down and watch the show, though. Have you seen Hollow Man? It's a great underrated movie. Yeah, Hollow Man's great. It's very much like the new Invisible Man movie. It has a very similar kind of vibe to it. But yeah, I always liked that movie. They made a sequel too, which was, as I remember, it wasn't that great. Let's see. Some of your favorite British TV shows, definitely Mr. Bean, Faulty Towers, but Mr. Bean is definitely my top favorite. And then Little Britain. And then I like Come Fly With Me as well. But Mr. Bean's definitely like the #1 top. Thoughts on the show Small Wonder? Yeah, that show is like slightly before my time a little bit. So I never really saw that show. I know there's DVDs of it, but I never really saw it because it didn't really have a big like rerun of it. I don't think it really got syndicated too much, so I never really saw much of that. If you could bring back one retired amusement park attraction ride, what would it be? Retired ride, maybe I'm trying to think of that I missed that's gone. Probably like in the Kilimanjaro Safari. I liked the big red part they got rid of. So that thing they got rid of I liked. Trying to think of what rides that are gone. And Animal Kingdom, they also had this cool boat ride when the park first opened that I got to go on one time they got rid of. So that'd be kind of cool to come back. I also really liked Ellen's Universe of Energy that they got rid of at Epcot recently. That was great. And the whole building where they had the Wonders of Life Pavilion, I think. The one that had like Body Wars and that. Everything in that building I liked. So I kind of wish they could open that building up and have it be just like it was. Let's see. Did you watch the TV show Super Mario Brothers, the animated series? Yeah, there was 2 different... No, it wasn't 2 different with that. There's 2 different Sonics that I remember back in the day. But no, I did watch the Mario Brothers series. What is the stupidest movie you've ever seen? Mine is Disaster Movie. Yeah, all those movies in that series that they did were pretty stupid. Thoughts on Can't Do That? You Can't Do That on Television? That's another show I never really got to see because it never really replayed very much. The riots in LA finally calmed down. Now it's only protesters. Yeah, at least I'm glad that the looting and all that stuff is died down because that was the protesting is fine. The looting, that's where it's bad. Sean, Eyes Wide Shut is a classic. Yeah, no, that's a great movie. You inspired me to start getting healthier. Lost 200 pounds on my weight loss journey so far. Well, that's amazing, James. Congratulations, James Morgan, on losing so much weight so far. That's awesome. Let's see here. Do you like Video Store Book Off? I like Book Off. I definitely. I think they just opened up again, so hopefully we'll get to them again. They're not too close to me. They're like downtown San Diego way, so it's like 40 minutes or 30 something minutes. Most leading poster and cover. I don't know for sure with which one, but I know there's a lot of ones, like especially like independent horror movies sometimes, where like the cover, you say like, who is this person? And there's like nobody in the movie that looks like that or anything like that. So that happens a lot when you're like, what is this? Do you like Shamrock Redemption? I don't know that. Thoughts on Vestron Video not releasing the title in about 2 years? No, I know. It's been a long time since Vestron's put anything out. I'm hoping that maybe Vestron could like continue on that label, and then like if like Lionsgate doesn't want to release him with him anymore, maybe like Vestron will partner up that group with like Arrow Video or something, or Scream Factory, and they can kind of partner together releasing them. Um, did you watch Disney Channel movies Smart House and Tower of Terror? I know I saw the Tower of Terror one. I don't know if I saw Smart House. How about Parents with Randy Quaid? No, Parents with Randy Quaid's a great film. Who is the most funny drunk, MJ or Gabe? Um, I don't know. I don't think anybody's really funny drunk. It's like, because it can be dangerous, you know what I mean? But, and I don't really remember MJ really being like really drunk ever, like seriously drunk. Um, let's see. Sean, watch the series The Deadlands, so good. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've not seen that one. I lost a ton of weight too, but now I have this saggy skin. It's kind of like, it's almost like battle scars, you know what I mean? Like when you lose weight. It's like you can't let it bother you, because it's kind of like, well, may have some loose skin, but it's like, well, you're alive. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the way I look at it as well. If I didn't lose the weight, who knows where I would have gone on from there, and where I would, be at now if I didn't. So it's like, well, I may have some of that, but I'm glad I did it. So I would never like be like, oh, I'm not going to lose the weight because of that. Hey Sean, have you watched Deadbeat at Dawn? I just watched it last night. Thought it was a great movie. Deadbeat at Dawn. Yeah, no, I've seen Deadbeat at Dawn. Hey Sean, do you watching the Brady Bunch Goes to the White House TV movie? Yeah, I remember watching that. I didn't like it too much. Have you watched Mysterious Skin? No, I've not. I know that's out of print now. I wish I had that one. Urban Ghost, Urban Exploration, the best ghost hunters on YouTube. Urban Ghost, Urban Exploration. I've never seen their stuff. Sean, you rock, dude. Well, thanks so much, Christian. Have you seen Lady in a Cage from 1964 and Little Prince? I've not seen those ones. Thoughts on Gabe saying, what do you still have a photo of you heavy on your page as your thumbnail? I don't know. I should change it out. I know that, but honestly, like I don't. It's always weird when you see someone's like logos change and stuff. Sometimes people don't realize it's the same channel and all that kind of stuff. It's also kind of keeps it so you don't kind of hold you accountable in a weird way. So you're like, well, you don't want to like not pay attention to your weight, because look at that, and that's kind of how you could go. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how you do it. Hypocritical situation. You have a date with Danielle Pinata. Where do you take her? And what do you wear? I don't even know. Who's Harry Crumb? Have you seen Who's Harry Crumb? No, that's a great documentary. Have you seen the Hong Kong movie Untold Story? I've not seen that one. I just saw Vegas Vacation today. Yeah, that's a great movie. I know it's like not perfect or anything, but I really like it. Did you see Cut Slasher Film 2000 with Molly Ringwald? Yeah, I have a review of that one up. That I didn't even know about that movie until recently, and that was a fun slasher film. And I always like movies that deal with making movies. Like I've always been a fan of them forever. Do you like Starship Troopers? That's a great film. Even the sequels are okay. I think the third one out of the sequels I like the best. Bro, we're both vampires. I don't go to bed until 4 a.m. No, I'm totally like that. I thought about trying to do a live show too sometime, just to see if anyone comes on at like 5 a.m. my time or 6 a.m. Sometime I might try that. Killer Instinct, 2000 horror film, or National Lampoon's Gold Diggers. National Lampoon's, that was a fun movie. I know people hate that movie, but I liked it. I mean, it was so goofy and stupid. I actually went to see it in theaters when it came out. It had like a really limited theater run. You mentioned Head of the Class in your newest review. What do you think about... I don't want to get into Dan Snyder stuff, but I've heard some of that kind of stuff. But you never know when you hear some of that stuff, if people just say things or what. What are your thoughts on Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah, that's another one of those movies I've watched so many times since I was a kid. Like, I love that film. Why do people criticize people for being underweight and overweight? Like, what weight should we be? People like, I feel like weight is the easiest thing that people can make fun of someone for without getting a lot of repercussions. I've noticed. You know what I mean? Like, people can kind of talk smack about people's weight without it really coming back to get them. So it's like, I don't know, they feel like they can do that. So like, yeah, I went through it a lot when I was really heavy. But it's kind of an upwards, downward things, because then sometimes people who they're like not very heavy, they're like really thin, they get a bunch of stuff. But then some people who are really thin, they sometimes have a condition too, and where they can't like gain weight, and that happens to some people have that kind of situation. Let's see here. Support the Duder with Snapchats, guys. He does wacky requests. Well, thanks, Xenomorph. Yeah, like I said, anyone who's come on, feel free. If you guys had any super chat questions or anything like that, feel free to ask anything you guys would like. Any like requests or any weird questions or promoting any of your channels or anything like that. Last House of Left remake is pretty good. No, I do agree that. I haven't watched it forever, but I did like it. Do you remember Girls' Night Out and House of Nine? I don't think I've watched those ones. Thoughts on Miami Vice? I watched some of the episodes of that. I've not seen too many, though. Uh, let's see here. Did you meet Magic Lantern Jose? Haven't seen him in forever on your videos. I haven't seen Jose. Yeah, Jose Prentice. I haven't seen him in a long time. But yeah, he was the director of like the Haunting of Whaley House and then the Blood Brothers movie that I worked with him. That '70s show or Big Bang Theory. Probably between both of them, I've seen more of the '70s show. What are your thoughts on Scoob? I know people didn't love it, but I really thought it was fun. I mean, I like seeing like Captain Caveman and stuff like that back again. Have you seen Adam Rifkin's The Chase with Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson? No, I've actually not seen that movie. That '70s show. What's your favorite '80s sitcoms? The ones that started in the '80s. Was like Perfect Strangers. Was that in the '80s? Did that start? Like I used to like the Golden Girls back in the day, Mama's Family. Let's see. Can you give me a big shout out, Egrin Alfsman? I bought the Rec set collection today. Oh yeah, the Rec Blu-ray set of all of them together. Yeah, Mr. Deeds and Big Daddy are most played on TV. Yeah, out of all of them, and then probably 50 First Dates. They play a little more, but Mr. Deeds and Big Daddy, those are definitely like like you said, the top played ones all the time. Hey Sean, well thanks for coming on, Tony the Dead. Let's see here. I've been watching Captain Caveman and Teen Angel on DVD, complete series, like lately childhood stuff. How stoked are you for a Clifford Blu-ray? Yeah, so I've not heard. I have to ask the director about it because I talked to the director of Clifford, but I didn't hear anything about the Blu-ray. I hope that they get him to do some interviews and stuff for it because I know he'll do it. I hope they reach out to him. I don't think there's any deleted scenes though. He doesn't know where they are because I was talking to him about them. I would love to see because he was telling me about some of these deleted scenes. Sean, do you know if Walmart takes the food stamp card for Blu-ray movies? I don't know. EBT. I don't know how that works. I've never had anything like that, so I don't know for sure. I feel like with food stamp things, it's for certain things only maybe, but I don't know. Let's see. Where was I now? I think it was up here. Have you seen Cursed? Does favorite? Let's see. I think here's where I was. Here's where I was. Have you seen the TV show Archie? Adventures of McGee and Me? I've seen some of the McGee and Me. I bought some of those at some thrift stores. Why did Disney mess up the Star Wars trilogy so bad? I didn't mind what they did with it. I thought they were okay. I'm watching Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat. Yeah, I haven't watched that movie since that came out in theaters. What's your top three favorite game shows? What are some of the ones that I've liked? Game shows like I watched all the new episodes of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that Jimmy Kimmel hosted, which I thought they were good ones. But like game shows that I liked, I used to like that Big Money No Whammies. I'm trying to think of what ones did I watch that I used to watch all the time. I like that one show with Tom Papa, and it was like this weird show, and I used to always make like a song like Tom Papa Don't Preach, and it was like Boom or something where it was like things would blow up and stuff like that. It was a really strange show. Like you had to like disarm things, and if you did it wrong, it would like blow all this gack and gross stuff all over you. That show with Ellen, she hosts Ellen's Game of Games. I like that show as well. And I see a super chat that came in. I see a couple ones, but they don't show up on the top. Let me see. I see two different ones that just popped in, but I don't see. Here they are. Here's one of them that's popped in. I see a super chat here from Paul P. Thanks so much, Paul P, for the super chat donation to the channel. And like I said, guys, thanks so much for those of you guys who have given super chats to the channel. They're a big help to the videos and everything. So thanks so much. Really appreciate them so much. And he says, are there any friends that you separated themselves because of the wet? Oh wait, are there any friends that separated themselves from you because of the Wet Movie 1 issue? Not really. I mean, I haven't really had anybody. Me and Brendan. A lot of the people were people that we met through the videos. Like there's a lot of people that are not, but a lot of people early on and stuff like that that both saw our videos. So for the most part, though, I still talk to everybody like Luna and everything like that. But some people kind of come and go, and some people kind of come and get in a video because they kind of want to start their YouTube channel and they kind of want like to get a push, which I understand. So there's some people that are like that you kind of see in the very beginning and then you don't really see again. So that kind of stuff does happen, but no one like particularly like that I'm not talking to or anything like that. Let's see here. And then I see a super chat here from Michael Swift. He says, recently got most of the After Dark Horror Fest DVDs. And thanks so much, Michael Swift, for your $4.26 super chat donation. No, I think I have most of those ones as well. But I missed those After Dark Horror Fest movies when they were releasing those ones. Because they put out, I mean, like, not all of them were great. But there were some really, fun movies that they released. And cool horror movies and stuff like that. Let's see here. Did you remember? Did you like the most recent Star Trek sequels? No, I thought they were good. I didn't mind them. Take the hat off. I want to see the goods. Well, Matthew, I only do hat removals for super chats. Hey, Sean, have you seen The In Crowd, a teen thriller from the early 2000s? Wasn't that from the director of Pet Sematary? Mary, I believe so. Whatever happened to the reboot Robot Jones? I don't know that. Favorite Bourne movies. I've never actually watched the Bourne movies. For some reason, I was never that interested in them, and I don't know why. Sean, it's pretty crazy to look back and realize I've been following the channel since checking you out, your videos when I was in high school. Glad to see you checked out Scarecrow video in Seattle. Yeah, I'm really glad I got to see that one. I really did like getting to see that video place. And that was a totally off-the-cuff video. Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to film anything in there, if they were going to be playing loud music or anything like that. And I was only able to be in there for like maybe 35 minutes because I didn't want to be in there too long. But if I ever get back to that area again, I'll definitely go in there and try and contact the owners of Scarecrow Video and try and set up something so I can like do a really intricate tour and then have them like show stuff in the back and that kind of stuff if they want. But I would love to help promote that store even more and just to bring more attention to it for anyone who's like traveling out there and doesn't know or anything like that. Sean, will you be recording any amusement park or water park videos this summer? I don't know if anything, Tony. I don't know if anything's gonna open. In Florida, Disney World is opening in July, but there's been no announcement date out here at all. So like, if I go to anything, I might go to like, if like the zoo opens, like the Wild Animal Park or anything like that. So maybe I'll go there. Does YouTube pay the bills? It helps with things. And like I said, from you guys with like super chats and all that kind of stuff is a big help to everything. Do you think about Coolduder Mansion, that rare VHS hard to find? I didn't know about that one. So what do you think about the Gate sequel from 1991, The Gate 2? The Gate 2 I thought was okay. It's just one of those ones where I don't know if it needed a sequel because the first movie was such a great movie. And I see a $2 super chat here from King Godzilla 16. He gave a $2 super chat. He says, have you seen Zerum or Ghost in the Shell? I've not seen Zerum, but I have seen Ghost in the Shell. I've seen, the original anime film. I have seen that one. And then I have seen the Scarlett Johansson movie, which I know it got a lot of negativity to it with casting her in the role and everything like that. But I thought it was okay. I mean, I didn't like, hate it or anything like that. Let's see here. Linda Cardellini and Scooby-Doo oh yes, that's who I thought it was, and Scooby-Doo, and she was also in Freaks and Geeks. Have you seen the TV show Howdy Doody and Hollywood Squares? I've seen Hollywood Squares and Let's Make a Deal, but I never saw Howdy Doody. Is the right stuff going to come out in 4K? I haven't heard anything about that. Jeepers Creepers or Scream? Between those, definitely Scream. Thoughts on the Blair Witch Project? That was one of those movies I remember seeing that in theaters when it first came out. And it was like such a big thing because I heard everyone hyping it up going, oh, it's so scary. It's the scariest thing on the planet. And then when I was sitting in the theater, I didn't even realize at the time. Well, I don't know why, because you didn't see trailers the same way back in the day. You would kind of see a movie trailer on TV or in theaters, but there was no really like YouTube or internet or anything like that, and at least in the same way. So I never really saw too many trailers for Blair Witch. I just saw some little clips. So then when I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's all filmed like this, and it was like kind of shaky, and it was in this huge theater. It was the theater at Universal Studios Florida City Walk Theater, and it was like this enormous enormous screen, and it was kind of making me a little sick. It was like kind of like nauseating. So I was kind of like, oh, that's what it is. And I see a $5 super chat here from Paul P. Can you name your top 5 art house movies? Well, art house movies, like I would consider art house is like stuff like Gummo. I know it's a weird movie, but it definitely I consider it an art film. Reflecting Skin, that's a movie I consider a really great art film. And then like stuff like The Cell, that's an art film, and I the way it's shot and everything like that. It's hard to name like a lot of art, like real arty films that I really like offhand. Would you consider Beyond Black Rainbow? I guess you could say that. And even Mandy is like the way it's shot. So those are some of the ones, but definitely like Reflecting Skin is one that's like a great art film that I would definitely, if you've never heard of that, check that one out, Paul. That's like a great movie. And thanks so much, Paul, for your $5 super chat. Next time you see Brendan, you should slap his face. No, I'm not going to do anything like that. Favorite Adam Sandler movie or Happy Madison movie? Favorite Adam Sandler movie is definitely Billy Madison. For Happy Madison movie that I like that's not with Adam Sandler is Bucky Larson. Even though I know it's a bad movie, but it's like sometimes you just want to watch like a really goofy, stupid movie, and that's kind of what it is. It's like a good stupid movie. X-Files or V. Probably V because I saw more episodes of that. Have you seen Drobot Taylor? I did see that. That was a great movie. And I see a $5 super chat here from Messiah of Kings. Thanks so much, Messiah of Kings, for your $5 super chat. He says, just dropping by to show my support. A question, which do you like better and why? Hills Have Eyes, original, or the remake? Well, with the remake, with the original movie, what really makes the movie to me is Michael Berryman. The cast is also really great as well. Dee Wallace, Stone, and the cast and everything in it as well. But Michael Berryman is really, like, to me, the big standout of that film, and also those enormous radios, and it's got a creepy vibe. It feels so like it happened. Like this family went out there and it went terrible for them going this back road. And it was like one of the first movies too to be one of those going off the back road. Like when you think about Hills Have Eyes, if that didn't exist, we would never have had the Wrong Turn movies. There's a lot of things that probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that movie. But the original Hills Have Eyes, it's kind of almost tied, honestly. You could put a total tie between both those movies. Because the remake it's kind of like very similar because it does a lot of the same things. It adds a couple things, but I think it's kind of a tie between both of them. I like the cast in the remake as well. It's not as creepy in some ways. It's gorier and like scary, but it doesn't have as much of this like realistic-y, creepy kind of vibe to it that the original does. But between both of them, I feel like it's kind of a tie. Let's see. What movies you've been in that you're most proud of? I think like the sci-fi stuff like Ghostquake, Ghost Shark are ones I'm really proud of doing. Dead Ant was one that I was really happy to get to do because it had a really great cast, and Ron Carlson gave me a really fun death scene in that movie. And it's like, and they play it on TV all the time and everything, so that's really cool. So any of that kind of stuff, and any stuff too where like I never expect it to get the attention that it does is always something that's exciting to me. Like, just any stuff if it ends up in Walmart for sale, because I love going to Walmart and they have like a lot of indie horror movies and stuff that I like. So anytime anything gets in Walmart, that to me is exciting because it's like, I don't know, just to be able to see something on a shelf that I'm involved in, and me with physical media. So the fact that you can go in there and buy it, and I don't know, that to me, that's like a weird, like something I'm just proud of, that kind of stuff, that I get to do stuff that I really like enjoy and that kind of stuff. Have you seen Citizen X TV movie about a serial killer? No, I've never seen that. Sean, do you have a bald head and why do you wear a hat? No, I started losing my hair when I was in high school. But that's just kind of my look, is like a hat. Do you know what I mean? But in movies and stuff like that, like if I do an audition or something, I do it now. I've realized I'm going to do it both ways. One with a hat and one without a hat. Because I don't want to falsify that I have hair. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I've got this thick, luxurious hair, so I don't want to put that into the world and be false about it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, this. It's like either, you want me to have a hat or no hat. Favorite Scott Baio movies? Probably Zapped is probably. Did you see Cast a Deadly Spell starring Fred Ward and Soul Taker? I think I saw Soul Taker. I don't know about Cast a Deadly Skull. Do you love the movie Rambling Rose? I don't think I ever saw that one. Protesting is not going to stop either. Either be going to be a crazy summer. Are you going to do a Blu-ray and DVD video on Tuesday? Yeah, I will have one on Tuesday. And then there's one movie that's going to be coming out in Walmart, coming out on Tuesday, where I don't know for sure if Walmart's going to carry it. This movie that I have a little part in called The Candy Witch, but it's coming out from Uncorked Entertainment, which is weird though. Is when I look on Amazon, it's like not on there to buy. So I don't know if it had a date change or not, but I'll be looking to see if it's out on Tuesday though. What's the status of The Simpsons in physical? Can't find them anymore. Yeah, a lot of them went out of print. The streaming ones, and I mean the Simpsons releases. You should be able to get them on Amazon and stuff like that, or eBay. But I hope that they continue to keep releasing them. But since they're all on Disney Plus, Disney may be like, well, we're not going to put them out because that's a selling point for Disney Plus. Because like, oh, you like The Simpsons, you can see them all on there. And I see a $20 super chat here from Messiah of Kings. Thanks so much, Messiah of Kings, for the $20 super chat donation. I really appreciate it so much. And like I said, anyone who's given super chats, thanks so much. They're a big help to the channel and the video, so really appreciate them. He says, what's the most money someone ever gave you for a super chat so far? Keep up the great work, my friend. Keep up the great content, my friend. Messiah of Kings, I'm trying to think I feel like somebody might have given maybe 50. Maybe I'm wrong. I know some people have given a couple a night. You know what I mean? Like so a couple after another. So it probably equaled like $50, $60, something like that. But your one, Messiah, is definitely one of the top ones. So thanks so much, Messiah of Kings. Like I said, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thoughts on Knight Rider? I've only watched a couple episodes of the show, but I've liked it though. I remember I used to see it on TV a lot too. I would look at it a little bit on TV. Favorite horror anthology film? Probably Creepshow. I would say, but I kind of like Creepshow 2 a little bit better though, because I like the raft segment. Now Mexico, France, and England, and every country is protesting. No, I've seen that. I've seen pictures and stuff. Breaking Away, 1978. I don't think I've seen that. Do you think alien encounter movies are some of the scariest horror movies? Well, some of them can be pretty creepy. There's definitely some really creepy alien ones. Thoughts on Highway to Heaven? I've not seen that one. Sean, have you ever watched any horror anime? I should see more anime. I really have not seen too much. Excited for Rad 4K out. Will you be doing a review? Hopefully I should hopefully get a copy of that one soon to review. Thoughts on Tourist Trap? I feel like the Blu-ray from Mill Creek doesn't do the movie justice at all. 5 minutes cut and mediocre transfer. Yeah, what stuff was cut from it? I've heard something about that, like being cut down, but I don't know what was edited out of it. But yeah, I like the movie a lot. It's a strange movie though, for sure. Have you watched Warning Sign on Blu-ray put out from Scream Factory? Forgotten film about a virus. Yeah, I've seen that one. I didn't absolutely love that. Have you checked out HBO Max? I need to, so if any of you guys have regular HBO, apparently through Time Warner Spectrum, you're supposed to be able to watch it for free, but I can figure out no way about how that works. Did you see Flamingo Kid and Lucas? I've seen Lucas. Maybe sometime you could go on the Joe Franz and Brendan Novak podcast. Well, if they ever wanted me to, I haven't talked to them in forever. Have you seen 8 Mile? I saw that one time. I remember I like everything with Brittany Murphy. Do you have any Wings Hauser movies? Yeah, I know I reviewed some. Wasn't he in Vice Squad? And there's something else that I watched with him recently. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it's going to be my video on Tuesday or not. But I know I've seen him in a couple of things. What's the best documentary film you've seen? Probably American Movie, the movie about them making a film. If you guys never saw American Movie, look that one up. The other one I like that Adam Rifkin directed called Giuseppe Makes a Movie. It's a great documentary about Giuseppe Andrews, who was in Cabin Fever. He's plays Deputy Winston. The guy's like, yeah, man, trying to party, and he was in Detroit Rock City. Well, Giuseppe Andrews would make these really crazy, weird short films and little mini features and stuff at his trailer park that he lived at with the trailer park residents, and they'd all act in it and everything. And Adam Rifkin went and followed him around during the making of one of the movies and kind of how he put it together. And it was a really great documentary. Have you seen Truth or Dare 80s version? Yeah, I've seen Truth or Dare. And what's funny is I'm actually in Truth or Dare Deadly Dares. When I was driving cross country, Tim Ritter said, oh, if you can meet us in this area, we can shoot a scene of you killing MJ or something like that in the movie. So yeah, I'm in that one. Are you a fan of John Waters movies? Yeah, I love all the John Waters movies. find any more Dollar Tree titles. I haven't seen any new ones. I haven't gone out again since the video I put up yesterday. How do you, let's see, the Bad News Bears 2005 remake is on Netflix. What are your thoughts? I remember thinking that was pretty good. I liked it. Do you believe in ghosts? I think there's probably something out there, some kind of presence, and not necessarily like ghosts you see, but like the essence of somebody. In certain places, I think can have haunted or bad vibes to it. Favorite trauma film? Definitely, I would say Terra Firma. It's a kind of a tie between Terra Firma, Toxic Avenger, and Class of Nukem High. Have you seen Hello Again with Shelley Long? I've never seen that one. Let's see here. Have you seen Satan's School for Girls? I've seen that one. I always think aliens look like real thing, humanoid, tall, big-headed, and disappear. Do you think about the TV show Captain N and Faux Fur cartoon? I don't think I saw those ones. Do you think Clown House will get a Blu-ray? I don't think so. I think because of all the stuff, the stuff that the director did, the horrible, horrible things, I don't think we'll ever see a Blu-ray, because even the DVD was canceled. It was manufactured, but it was pulled from the shelves. And I think I heard something about some companies were like approached to release it and then they just denied it. So I doubt it. I think that we'll probably, the only thing we'll ever have is either bootlegs at conventions, or if anyone comes across that DVD, or if some other country puts it out. But I don't think anybody will, honestly. Do you think the protesters are slowly stopping there? I think the looting is definitely going down. More super chats, guys. Support the channel. Thanks for posting that, Xenomorph. Like I said, guys, thanks so much for those of you guys who have given super chats this evening. Really appreciate them so much. You should a crazy time live chat? What does that mean? I'm not sure. Before you have a heart attack, when you turn around, they discovered we. Have you seen Devilman, horror anime? I've not seen that one. Let's see here. See, I'll have to hide this person on here. Put stuff like that. Hey Arnold, are you related to Sylvester Stallone? Would you ever reunite with MJ again? Yeah, if MJ ever wanted to, I would have no problem with seeing him again. Sean, have you seen the Steve McQueen remake called The Getaway with Alec Baldwin? Getaway? I don't think I've seen that one. Sean, have you ever thought about becoming a boxer so you can knock out wet meat? No, I've never done anything like that. I don't think I'd be any great at that. Let's see here. Hey Sean, boy, I'm now official member of the channel. It's a dream come true for me. I was wondering if you could get me... You could get in bed and pretend to sleep and wake up screaming for a terrible nightmare? What? Have you seen Razorback and Orca the Killer Whale? I've seen Razorback, not forever, but Orca, that's a great movie, though. Are you selling any of your celebrity autograph photos? No, I don't sell any of them. And they're also all signed to me, so they're all personalized. Thoughts on the Home Alone series? I've watched all of them, but the only ones that you really need to go out of your way to watch is part 1 and 2. Like, third one's okay. The other ones are really pretty bad. I mean, they're you could watch them if you're like really bored. They're all watchable, but no way near as good. What film are you looking forward to seeing when theaters reopen? Well, whatever is the first thing will be, like maybe Bill and Ted is the one I would really love to see. Sean, have you seen The Chill Factor with Skeet Ulrich and Cuba Gooding Jr.? Yeah, I always liked that movie. It was kind of a stupid concept a little bit, but I always kind of liked it. Have you seen Blood Moon, the slasher movie from 1990? I think I have a review of that up, I think. Have you seen Kangaroo Jack with Anthony Anderson and Jerry O'Connor? I like that movie. Like, I know it's another one that's dumb, but I remember really liking that one. You've seen Super Troopers? I like that one. I thought the new one was okay, though. What movie would you like to see a remake of? I don't know, because I don't feel like there's anything where I'm like... Maybe Peanut Butter Solution would be kind of interesting. Have you seen Rosewood Lane with Rose McGowan, from the director of Clown House? I never actually watched that. Do you have Happy Days, the Fonz DVDs? I have all the seasons that have been released of Happy Days. And I have the Fonz cartoon as well. And I have Joni Loves Tchotchke. Thoughts on Cliffhanger? Cliffhanger is a good movie. Another one I need to go back and watch again. Shout Select should release Clifford. No, I was telling the director to contact him about it. I would love if they would have put it out. Have you seen The Pit? Yeah, Pit is a great movie. Highest amount of money you found out and about? Like if I found money on the street? Maybe like $20. I actually think I found $20 once at Disney when I was walking. And like one of the last times I was there, I found it was just like sitting on the ground, and then I looked at it. All these other people were looking at it. No one was picking it up, and I'm just like, all right, I'll pick it up. Everyone just kept looking at it. You should do a top 10 summer movies. Yeah, that might be an interesting idea. Have you seen Remember Josh Kirby? I think I remember that those you did. I think Full Moon did a lot of those. Did you? Do you think they need to make a cinematic Star Wars Old Republic trilogy or a series? I mean, I know there's going to be more Star Wars like spin-off kind of stuff. There's definitely going to be, especially for Disney Plus, because of how good the Mandalorian is done. I definitely can see more of that happening. Thoughts on Jared, the Subway guy? Yeah, he's a bad guy now. He kind of like tarnished Subway. Do you have a crush on Luna Meow? I think that's kind of obvious. Favorite John Candy movies? I've talked about this a lot, but definitely like Summer Rental, Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck. But between all of them, definitely Plane, Trains, and Automobiles is like the top with them. Rank the Lost Boys trilogy. I think honestly probably in order. You know what I mean? I ask about Danielle Pinola because in case you didn't know her name, she's from Jurassic World. Yeah, she's from Jurassic World. Have you seen Dungeons and Dragons? I never sat through that movie. I should probably watch it. Have you seen Leaping Leprechaun, Moonbeam Entertainment? I think I saw that one back in the day. Do you think about rare film Kill the Man starring Luke Wilson, released on VHS, never on DVD? Yeah, Kill the Man's a great movie. That movie was actually a Hollywood Video exclusive VHS back in the day. It had a little sticker on the front that said Hollywood Video, and there was a number of one. I think a movie called Dead Pet was another one that they had exclusive rights to. There was a couple of them. They were like, I don't know if the deal was like I don't know exactly how it worked, but it was some kind of exclusive deal because I think at the same time Blockbuster started having some exclusive stuff. So yeah, they never put this out. It was like a totally forgotten movie. Kind of, it's very similar to like Office Space a little bit. And there was another movie too that was kind of like that. But yeah, everyone look up Kill the Man with Luke Wilson. I don't know if anyone put it up on YouTube, but it's a pretty good movie if you want something kind of funny to watch. I cannot believe it's never come out though. I'm awake early enough to moderate. Well, thanks so much for coming on and helping to moderate. Did you watch Beverly Hills Teen and Street Sharks? I did watch Street Sharks. Thoughts of the Toxic Avenger series? I'm a fan of all those movies. Top 3 Christina Ricci movies. Top 3 Christina Ricci movies. Probably the Addams Family films. And then what was the other one I liked? Buffalo 66 is one that was a really, really good movie with her and Vincent Gallo. I think I was about here. Have you seen Good People starring James Franco and Kate Winslet? I don't know if I watched that one. Any horror movies you recommend I watch? 2021s. I don't know if that was a 2021, but The Lodge was really good. Vivarium was really good. I've watched recently. If I give you 10 Messiah to try and beat me, I'll give him 100 to Messiah to beat me. Is AI a Stanley Kubrick movie? Well, it was before he passed away. That was one of the ones that he was going to do. Did you see Guilty as Charged and Mute Witness? Mute Witness I've seen. That's a great movie. How many times have you been called ma'am? Oh, throughout my life, through drive-thrus, so often. I mean, that happens to me so many times. What's your favorite streaming service besides Netflix? Hulu is the other one that I look at a lot. Tubi is really good for free stuff. They have like ads and stuff, but there's a lot of like cool indie stuff on there. Your thoughts on 21 and 22 Jump Street? I don't like 22 Jump Street because I saw it when I was having the cellulitis attack, so it always reminds me of it. The first one, though, I liked. How many of the Fly movies are there? Well, there was, the original Fly, and then they had, like, I think it was 2 sequels to the original Fly, and then they had the David Cronenberg's Fly, and then the sequel to the remake, which was not a bad one. Shout Factory still shipping stuff to you with the coronavirus pandemic going on? Yeah, they weren't for a little bit, but they just started to a little while ago. So like in my last video, I had some stuff to review. Does Walmart sell adult films like porn movies? No, they don't sell. They are really don't. No, they don't. Sean, can you name 7 Jack Nicholson movies without Googling? I don't know if I can name 7. Like, The Shining, As Good as It Gets, A Few Good Men, Batman, Anger Management. I'm trying to think of other Jack Nicholson movies. I probably can't without thinking. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Then there's probably something like that out there. I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't doubt if there's like some kind of creature out there. And anyone who's come on now, I'll be on here now for probably about 30 more minutes, maybe a little more than 30 minutes. If any of you guys have any questions, feel free to ask anything you guys would like. If you guys have any super chat donations, feel free in there to ask anything, any weird questions in there, or any requests, or promotions to your YouTube channel, anything like that. No problem. And like I said, thanks so much for those of you guys who have done super chats. It's a big help to the channel, so thanks again. Do you eat cauliflower pizza? I have. I have the usually the microwave one, the frozen one. But actually, I actually think it has to be in the. I actually don't think you can microwave it. I think you have to do it in the oven. But yeah, the one I get that one sometimes. It's like it says like cauliflower in the front. It's like in a white kind of box. I get that one sometimes. Thoughts on X-Men? I used to watch the show as a kid all the time. I had all the toys. So I've always been a fan of X-Men. Start with Death Note, Wolverine, or Spider-Man. To me personally, I always like Spider-Man. Have you checked out Siren series about mermaids? I've heard of that. I've not seen any episodes of that. Have you seen the No Way Out starring Kevin Costner? That's one I have not seen. Thoughts on Little Shop of Horrors? Yeah, the remake one I really like. It's with Rick Moranis. That's a very fun movie. Sean, VHS or 4K? Oh, definitely 4K because I don't really get too many VHS anymore. They are making a horror movie called Coven. Do you mean like American movie? They've been trying to make that a long time. Favorite POV horror movies? Like stuff like what Cloverfield and Diary of the Dead and those kind of styles. Sean, you must have seen It Takes Two with Mary-Kate and Ashley and Brian De Palma's Obsession. Yeah, Obsession, I reviewed that one. That was a great movie. It Takes Two, that was kind of like a sort of a knockoff of Parent Trap, but I like that. And I see a $2 or £2 super chat here. Can you plug the Update movie? The movie Update movie. Yeah, there's a documentary called The Update Movie, which is basically on everyone who does, DVD, Blu-ray updates on YouTube. So it's all like, reviewers and that kind of stuff all in there kind of talking about how they started and all that kind of stuff. And I got, interviewed for that one and kind of talked about how I started, doing YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Where was I now? What do you think about Back to the Future remake? It'd be interesting to see it. They talked about Tom Hardy. Who did they talk about? I can't remember who they said it was going to be the remake. But I would watch it, but I'd almost would rather just see a sequel to it, honestly. Sean, have you seen the 19 horror movie called Copycat? I've seen that before. I haven't seen it in a long time though. It sucks because I'm going to see Quiet Place 2, but the virus. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing that one whenever they end up releasing that now. What's your take on Cool Runnings? Watched it recently and forgot how amazing that movie is. Yeah, that's a great movie and a different kind of John Candy kind of role. And that was like real early soon before he passed away. But I really like that movie. Have you seen Annie Hall or Manhattan? I've not seen those ones. Do you have the toy bobblehead Chris Farley? I believe so. Hey Sean, what are your thoughts on Olaf Ickenbeck movies? He's the Black Past and the Burning Moon. I believe I've seen the Burning Moon. I believe so. He has 5,000 movies and everyone has asked him if he's seen the generic mainstream movies that everyone has seen. That's what Matt said. Have you seen the Passé Perturbed DVD you found? The one I got at the Dollar Tree? No, I haven't looked at it yet. Thoughts on Maniac Cop series? Yeah, I've seen all those films. I need to get the first movie on Blu-ray, though. I have the other ones. A Better Watch Out. Get a sequel. What would it be about? I don't know what would happen in Better Watch Out if they did a sequel. I don't want to ruin that if anyone didn't see it. What do you think of Jaws 4K? No, I do. I got a copy of Jaws 4K to review. That's definitely one I would recommend you guys pick up. And they also have a Best Buy steelbook of that one. You got another one, must see, Love Wrecked and Gnome Named Gnome on VHS hard to find films. What's your take on I talked about Cool Runnings. What do you think about Tarantino's next film will be about? I'd like to see him do a sci-fi movie. Well, he's had kind of talks about, even mentioned about doing like a horror movie, which I kind of would love to see him do something like horror movie related. Do you still watch The Angry Video Game Nerd? I haven't watched him in a long time. Every so often, but not so much. So Richard Dreyfuss just announced for a convention I'm going to in October in Manchester, England. Loads of horror icons coming. That's really cool. Yeah, I met Richard Dreyfuss at a CVS because he kind of lives sort of like kind of near me a little bit. So I saw him at a CVS one time and talked to him. So that was kind of funny. Have you seen? And he's a nice guy though. Have you seen Free Jack? I believe I reviewed that one. Do you have Moonlighting season on DVD? No, so rare. No, I don't have any of those ones. Um, have you seen What a Girl Wants and Milk Money? Yes, I've seen both of those ones. What movie do you not recommend to watch alone in a cabin? What movie do you not recommend to watch alone in a cabin in the woods? Well, I wouldn't watch like Evil Dead out like in the middle of the woods. That'd be pretty creepy to be watching that. What Tremors movies are your favorite from least to favorite? I don't know for favorite. Of course, the first movie, probably the first, second, and then the most recent ones I've liked, and I know the new one's going to have John Heder in it, so I'm really interested in seeing that. Are you looking forward to season 2 of The Twilight Zone, Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone? Yeah, I'll definitely look at some of those. I don't have the streaming thing it's on, but I'll definitely get the DVD or Blu-ray of that, when they put that out. Thoughts on Captain Underpants? I never read any of those books. Sean, you have to watch Passe Partout you found. Yeah, I know, I still have to watch that. Chris Farley, Kevin James, or John Candy? Out of all of them, definitely John Candy. Even though as much as I love Chris Farley, I'd say John Candy. Thoughts on Paul Verhoeven, who did like RoboCop? Yeah, I like his movies. Let's see. Thoughts on Joe Exotic documentary? I've not watched Tiger King. Do people in America still buy newspapers? I think so. I mean, like we used to have them delivered. We don't really get them anymore, but I think some people still get them. I have the Blu-ray for Dead Alive, which actually doesn't have the title Dead Alive. It has the title Brain Dead on it. Oh, that's interesting. Thoughts on Happy Gilmore? I have an extremely long, detailed description while you're alive. Happy Gilmore, yeah, that I don't. That's the one came out like soon after, Billy Madison. I don't watch that as much as Billy Madison. I still do like Happy Gilmore, but I would definitely pick Billy Madison as the one. Like if you said between the two to watch, I'd definitely pick Billy Madison. Someone said, do you watch? Where was I on here? Do you want to talk about that? Thoughts on Bad Boys? Where was I here? My newspapers. Thoughts on the Bad Boys series? No, I like the Bad Boys movies. I really like the last one. Thoughts on the game starring Michael Douglas? Yeah, I recently got the Blu-ray of that one not that long ago. I need to go back and watch that. But I remember really liking it though. Did you ever own a CED player? Yeah, the Cinema Sickness shows those CED discs. I never had that player. I didn't even honestly know what that was until I saw him showing them in his videos. Do you watch public freakout videos on YouTube? I've seen some, but I haven't watched too many of them. Do you think Scarlett Johansson's looks have gone? No, I think Scarlett Johansson is some people, like when they get older, I feel like they kind of look better for some reason. I don't know. I always sort of thought that. Like Anne Hathaway, I think looks better when she's older. Jennifer Lopez looks better as she's gotten older. And then some people like always stay looking the same. Like Alexandra Daddario, she's like 34, and she like doesn't look that at all. Like she looks like she's like early 20s. So I don't know how she looks so young. Let's see, Jack Preacher or John Wick. Between both of them, definitely to me, John Wick. Tom Holland. Yeah, Tom Holland was who they're talking about for doing the Back to the Future remake, which would be, like I said, would be kind of interesting. Have you seen the making of the Terminator? It's awesome. I probably have. I know I've watched like for Terminator 2. I watched like all the making ofs on the DVDs and stuff of those back in the day. Thoughts on the A-Team? That's a show I never really watched. Do you think Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson is alive? Elvis, people always say that. I don't know. Michael Jackson, I don't think so. I mean, Michael Jackson could have just been sick of it all and vanished away. You never know, but I doubt it. Have you seen The Mutilator? Yeah, that's a great movie. And a little while ago, I heard that they were going to try and make a sequel to that. The director was going to come back and make a new one, which I think would have been amazing, but I haven't heard anything more about that. Do you think The Crow needs a remake? Yeah, Jason Momoa was going to play The Crow, from what I heard. And I was kind of interested in seeing him do that. I think he would have done a pretty good job at that. Have you seen Dario Argento's Demons 1 and 2? Yeah, both of those are great movies. I have the steelbooks of those ones. Do you remember the Paul Walker movie, Meet the Deedles? That's never released on DVD. Yeah, I don't know if did they put that one on Disney Plus? I feel like that would be something they would put on there. But yeah, I remember that back in the day. Have you heard of the show Office? And what's your favorite blooper? I saw the original Office, but I never really watched the American one. Thoughts on I Spy? The movie I thought was alright. I haven't seen it in forever. I know. In the series though, I never really saw that. Do you miss your gym routine? I do. I mean, like, it sort of sucks not being able to do that. I know they're opening up little by little, but they're going to have all kinds of like different rules to it though. Like, it's going to be like certain things where you can't do certain things there, and it's all sorts of rules and stuff like that. And then Angel M gave a $2 super chat, and he says, "Take your hat and say, oh, what a lovely tea party." So I got to take my hat off for $2, Angel, but all right. Oh, what a lovely tea party from Coolduder's bald head. It's like, look at that shine, baby. That I did that a little cheap. I shouldn't have done it for $2, but thanks so much, Angel M, for your $2 super chat. Like I said, guys, thanks so much. For those of you guys who have given super chat donations to the channel, I really do appreciate them though. And let's see here. Where was I now? I know I took the balding hat off for everybody. Favorite Happy Madison Netflix original. I like the one Sandy Wexler, which is the one, at least when it comes to the ones that he's in. Someone says, how many steps do you do a week? Let me see if I can see on here how many steps that I do. I don't know if like today I did 28,000 steps, 28,302 steps. Like, so let me see health data. What do you do? Go in here and see and the thing is, this one, it isn't always right though, because it says I did 10.3 miles, but it's not always right because my mom's has a Fitbit, and it says things totally different. I did 25,000 steps on Wednesday, 28,506 steps. I think my mom was saying that we ended up walking when she was looking at her Fitbit for like the last 3 months since we've been walking. I think it was like 400 and something miles or something like that, over a 450 or something like that, which is crazy to think. And that's from doing it 3 days a week. Let's see here. Favorite, have you seen Martians Go Home with Randy Quaid? I believe so. I think I remember that. If you were in Blair Witch Project, would you cry? Probably, maybe. Can you decode the Morse code? No, I wouldn't know how to do that. Thoughts on Driving Miss Daisy on VHS? I like that movie. I don't know if that was the first time I saw it was on VHS or not. Vin Diesel impression? I don't know what he says. Like, well, the Vin Diesel impression, if you like, my favorite was when he was dancing that Katy Perry song. He was like, "We ain't going back," and he was doing that amazing dance. It's like, I think he posted it on his Facebook, but that was amazing. This whole like this strange dance. He was like doing this, like get real close to the camera and moving things with his shoulders. But it's like a real deep kind of voice, like, "Yeah, I'm a Vin Diesel." It's like sort of like a deepish. It's kind of hard to impersonate it. Can you? Sean, what's your thoughts on the Silence of the Hams? I never watched that. That's the Silence of the Lambs, parody movie. Thoughts on True Romance? That's a great Kristen Slater movie. I love that movie. Do you eat popcorn when you watch movies? Not really. Even when I was like eating like a lot of stuff back when I was really heavy, I never really got popcorn. I was more of a nachos person. So if I went to the movies, I more often would get nachos. And then like peanut butter cups. Now, that'd be kind of what I get. Sometimes I would get a hot dog, but nachos was always like the big thing. And the worst was back when the one theater used to have a cheese dispenser, so you could get your own nachos, cheese. So and it was basically just like melted American cheddar cheese or something like that. And I would like cover it, and they'd have like little spots for the cheese, and I'd put it in there. Then I'd cover the whole nachos with it. So it was basically like eating more cheese than anything. Are you a millennial? I think I've been considered that. Favorite Mike Myers movie? Definitely the Austin Powers films. What future do you think cinema theaters will have? I think they're do really well for big studio movies once those start coming out, but I don't know. I think people, it's kind of like when you break the habit of doing something, and people have kind of broke the habit of going to the theaters. So some people might not go back as much. Some of the people who went all the time. And like, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how it all goes, especially when they open. They're going to have to be 50% capacity, so they're not going to be able to make as much money. So that's the thing about that, is that the studios are going to be like, well, we probably make more money because we could fill the, doing it on streaming, because they made so much money with like the new Trolls movie through streaming. So it's a quicker way, because it's kind of like, well, if you want to see the movie, you can see it right away in your house. I still love the theaters though. There's still something about that experience and all that. So I'll miss it if it does not come back again to the same extent. But I think you're always going to see big studio movies like Marvel movies, DC movies, those kind of things will always be in theaters in one way or another. We might see more drive-ins open up though. How many 4K Blu-rays do you have? Maybe maybe 150, something like that, maybe 200. Not as much though. Do you watch English Bluetubers? I watch some English Bluetubers. The one guy I know, Paulie D, I think, a Paulie something. I've watched some of his videos. Do you think Chloe Grace Moretz is a down? I think I have to like. I can't tell if it's on now or not.